Oh, you're bodying us. Jev, if you can hear us, I love you! Jev! Jev, can you stream right now?
So, I got a little story, okay? Alright, so during this time period, okay, so for any of you guys that are brand new, by the way, if you are brand new, subscribe if you're not. Leave a like as well, thank you guys. By the way, also thank you guys for all the support on yesterday's video as well. I've been trying to edit more and more and just try to do things that I wouldn't normally do, that I wasn't comfortable with and all that shit, but now I'm just kind of doing it, so thank you guys for supporting that. Now, servers have been a little wonky on Black Ops 4, so hopefully I can still play the game while I'm talking about this. So I'm wearing this beanie, okay, and if you're brand new, I don't usually wear beanies on a normal basis. I used to years ago, but then I just started wearing a normal hat. A lot of the time I don't feel like doing my hair, but the reason that I have this on is because I can't really do my hair at the moment because I have burns across like my hairline / all over my scalp, and it's just not looking good. Or at least it didn't look good a couple days ago. It actually looks pretty good so far. You can actually, if I didn't say anything, people might not even notice. That's how well it recovered, so oh yes. I mean, I still got the shit on here, and I have like these moisture pad things stuck to my forehead, and they feel really weird and squishy, but I gotta keep the skin kind of wet so it doesn't just flake and just peel off and scab everywhere. Because if it does, then I'm gonna start losing my hair and shit, so I have to keep it wet and weird.
Hostile tactical beacon online.
Tango. What the fuck was that guy doing? The guy looked like he was doing the Macarena in the corner. Game settings have changed. Oh boy, there's an update. Here we go. So I ended up telling a story about when I went to a convenience store back in my old town. And there was a guy that was there that was talking about, like, there was some shit where he was talking about skinning people. It was really weird. I think the guy might have been, like, on drugs, or he could have potentially had some sort of thing going on, you know, mentally. I'm not sure. But the guy was walking around the store, like, whispering to himself. He looked real sketchy. Also note that this was pretty late at night, so it was really sketchy for me to be there. But basically, I'm not all that unfamiliar with, you know, some crazy people out in public, especially in random corner stores and shit. So yesterday I decided to go to a convenience store just because I wanted to, you know, pick up a couple things because I have been grinding my ass off. Not on Call of Duty necessarily. It is on Call of Duty, but I haven't been able to make the progress that I've wanted to make recently because leading up to everything, I have to basically make, what is it, 20 videos in 11 days or some bullshit like that. I don't even know. So I'm spending the majority of my day just sitting there in an editing program, especially with all like the extra editing and shit that I've been doing. So that's why I was really thankful that people were appreciative of it. So I end up going to the store, okay, and I'm just in a much better place now than I was, you know, back then. So usually in the middle of the night, I'm not really, you know, worried about going to the store anymore. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of worry whenever it's late at night or whatever, and you gotta worry about getting fucking robbed or some shit like that. But in the middle of the night, I'm just grinding my ass off. I need a little bit of a break. So I decide, hey, I'm gonna end up going to the store just to go, you know, pick up some snacks, maybe some ice cream or just some bullshit like that, you know, just to kind of lift my spirits a little bit because that's a grind and it's really, it's got a whole lot on your mind, you know what I'm saying? You're worried about if people are gonna like a video, you're worried about YouTube doing this or some bullshit, you know what I mean? So I pull up to the place, go inside, and this place is a little bit bigger than, you know, the last place that I was in, and so there's usually at least a few people that are there every single night. And I know the majority of the people that are there in that convenience store, I know like a lot of the workers and stuff like that. I've talked to them many times, I'm pretty familiar with all of them. It's a normal day, nothing really out of the ordinary, just a typical thing, just a typical visit, except there was this one guy that was there, okay, and he was there before I even went in there, but he wasn't buying anything. I'm not really sure what was really going on with the whole thing exactly, but he was sitting in there waiting.
Enemy removed.
He's pissed. I just took a good guess. I was like, he probably moved back right there. That's some fucking wall hack shit right there. I played firing range way too many times. I didn't even have FMJ on right there. That's, I'm surprised I hit it. Educated guess, but sometimes you're still surprised whenever it actually works. So anyway, back to the story. I walk into the store, typical day, and then there's this one guy there. I didn't really notice anything weird about him at first, okay? I'd say he was like, I don't know, maybe in his 30s. At least he looked like it anyway. He's got a little bit of gray in his beard and stuff like that. But as far as like the way that he looks in the face, he didn't really look that old to me. I'm just sitting there, I'm looking for this ice cream, okay? I walk in there, I'm trying to find my Ben & Jerry's, you know what I mean? I'm just going in there, I'm trying to find that Cinnabon. You find it every single time. I love Cinnabon. That shit is so good. Walking around, I don't really find it, okay? And this is one of the first times that, like, I didn't find it. So with me not being able to find that flavor, I spent a little bit, you know, longer over at the freezers and shit looking through all the ice cream and stuff because I'm like, well, I gotta find something. I'm here now. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time driving here and then have to, like, just come home empty-handed. I'm getting me some ice cream. So I commit. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna find anything that I possibly can, even if it's not on the level of Cinnabon, okay? I'm just gonna find anything. Strawberry, I mean, strawberry's up there with me for sure. It's definitely top 3, easily. So I'm taking a little bit longer. I'm gonna have to crouch down. I'm looking there, and I'm trying not to be awkward in public, but I see a lot of the flavors down on the bottom, okay? And, you know, being a guy in public, especially me walking around a lot of the time with, like, track pants on and shit like that, I'm kind of walking around with a wagon. So me having to commit, just hard commit to be able to see all the flavors in there, I decide to just open the thing. I'm trying to reach down there, and now I'm realizing that I'm looking even more awkward by trying to, like, not bend over near people in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? So I just said, fuck it. I got down onto one knee, and I'm, like, peeking down and shit. And then when I finally get up, it's on, like, some scary movie shit where I go and I take the door, and the camera is just perfectly aligned. I close the door, and this dude standing next to me goes, hey. And he was, like, really enthusiastic. It was really strange, but I was not ready for that type of energy at, like, 3 in the morning. So, by the way, I haven't been getting that much sleep, so I was pretty tired, so that startled the shit out of me. How you doing, man? And I'm like, I'm good. And I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get robbed, aren't I? I don't ever carry shit with me, so it's like, all right, well, about to die for no reason, I guess. The guy was actually really making me nervous, too, because he just kept, like, fidgeting around and, like, just having really weird movements that were just not a normal, I don't know, man. It just seemed like he was moving around really nervously. That's why I was thinking, like, fuck, I'm about to get robbed. So I'm, like, kind of tensing up a little bit while this dude starts asking me, like, questions and shit. And he started asking me about, like, I noticed your hoodie. What kind of music do you listen to, man? I was like, you know, just kind of everything. I was just being, like, really dry, you know, because I wasn't really sure exactly why he wanted to even speak to me in the first place, right? The best way to get someone to just not talk to you is to just be not entertaining at all. Make them just question why they even wanted to talk to you in the first place. So I was being very dry about it because I didn't know what this guy wanted exactly. And then this is the thing. Okay, I made a few jokes the past couple days about how I looked like a drug dealer. And this has happened to me before, but this guy basically came up to me and was trying to make small talk with me just to ask if I could sell him some drugs. Any drugs, that's the thing. Guy, after like asking some questions, trying to be cool with me, there's like these long, awkward like pauses too. So he actually ended up following me around the store. I ended up finding my flavor. I got fucking, what was it? Chocolate cheesecake, some Ben and Jerry shit. You know what I mean? It's just some crazy flavor, but it was really delicious too when I made it home. So anyway, so the guy follows me around the store after I go and pick up my ice cream. I'm looking around. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll grab some water. I'll do this. I'll do that. And he's still asking me questions, and I'm still being incredibly dry about it, but I'm not being a dickhead. You know what I mean? And then the guy was like, okay, man, listen. And he puts his hand on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Like, what's good? He's like, I gotta level with you, man. In that second, I thought there was going to be one of potentially 3 things, but 2 of them I was thinking in my head, like, for sure it's going to be one of these. Number 1, are you Jev? People will like go up to me, talk to me, and then ask if I'm me. I don't know. I might not run up to somebody and then scream their name at them or some shit like that. I kind of get it. So, or number 2, he was gonna try to rob my ass. And he goes, hey man, I'm gonna have to level with you. Hand on the shoulder. And he goes, you sell any drugs? Do you know anybody? Do you kind of look like my plug out of West Philly? You know, no, I don't do anything. He's like, do you have any coke, heroin, anything like that? Pills, maybe even? And I was like, nah, none of that stuff. And he's like, oh, that's fine, man. You got any weed? And I'm like, I just said fucking no. I'm like, no, I don't have anything, man. He's like, you're sure? In my head, I'm like, does it fucking look like I'm sure? He's like, you're sure, man? I'll buy a dime bag for like $30. I don't give a fuck. I just want anything. And I'm like, no. The more questions this guy started asking, the more and more I started realizing, like, okay, this guy is off his shit. I guess because recently I've been looking like a zombie. I got fucking bags under my eyes. I'm like stressing over shit, trying to make all these videos and stuff. I gotta go to TwitchCon. A lot of things that need to be, you know, put in place for me to, you know, have this whole thing be a successful trip. The number 1 priority for me every single day, every single time I wake up, the first thing I think is I'm making a video. So I stress like fucking hard. So it probably aided in the fact that I may look like a drug dealer of some kind. I don't know. And also, to be fair, I had my hoodie up and everything too at that time because I'm like, you know, I don't want people to recognize me in the middle of the night, but also at the same time, probably not the smartest idea. I mean, then again, if I walked in there without a hoodie on or even a hat on or a beanie or anything, they're probably gonna think I'm on an even harder drug if my scalp is all scratched up and shit. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to get over the fact. I mean, I got over it, but I was just reminded of it again. That question has been asked of me so many times throughout my life since like fucking middle school. I can't even reply with any sarcasm to go and be like, do I even look like a drug dealer, dude? Like, yeah, kinda. I've asked my closest friends before if I look like, and they'd be like, yeah, people don't have to look a certain way in order to be a drug dealer, but some people just kind of fit. Eventually the guy ended up fucking off, but he seemed so angry that I wasn't a drug dealer. Like, you're just picking random people out of a fucking store in the middle of the night and you expect them to be drug dealers. I mean, who does this shit? And why me? Could have been anybody else. How long has this guy sat around and how many people did he ask these stupid ass questions all to lead up to the big holy grail of great questions to ask strangers? Hey, you got any drugs? Oh, leave me alone. Oh, I'm just gaming, dude. Like, I'm just trying to go home and just keep making some more videos and shit. I did notice after not using stim shot for a little bit that there's actually like this weird small delay before you can even stick yourself without stim. It's really strange, and it feels really clunky for some reason. I'm used to immediately, like even in the middle of reloading and everything, my character would usually like stick himself and shit with the stim shot anyway, and then without it, it's like there's sometimes where like I'll go to reload, and even after I'm done reloading, I still have to wait like a full second before I'm able to heal myself again. I don't know why. I'm just used to the stim shot. I've been trying to use acoustic because the acoustic sensor is actually broken. Dead silence does counter it, but not that people are running dead silence, especially in TDM. Maybe in like things like free-for-all and things like that. I might actually try some free-for-all a little bit. I'm not really sure. Let me know if you guys want me to try out some free-for-all, maybe some free-for-all sniping, throw on some dead silence with that acoustic and see what I can do. Maybe even some blackout. I was actually gonna plan to do some blackout today, but then, you know, that happened. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, notifications and all that stuff. And yeah, it's been Jev, guys. Later.